Kumaram Sarva Sukha Saram Radhanicharam Brahmaparam Kadananda Kumaram Sarva Sukha Saram Radhanicharam Brahmaparam Dhulam Yamuna Dhulam Nivatatulam Sukataram Mukhavanditarenu Charitatenu Bhaditavenu Manurasuram Mallakamati Vimalam Sumavakakawaram Nakaruchiyamalam Viravaram Vajananda Kumaram Sarva Sukha Saram Dharmanicharam Brahmaparam Vajananda Kumaram Sarva Sukha Saram Dharmanicharam Brahmaparam गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् दीनं वालितदीनं भक्तादीनं परमकरं मोहनपतिधीरं मणिबलवीरं हतपरवीरं तरलकरं वल्लभव्रजरमणं वारिजवदनं हरहरशमनं गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् परिवारं मदनाकारं पूज्यविहारं पूर्णकरं वल्लभप्रचन्द्रं सुखगसुचन्दं कृतानन्दं भान्तिकरं गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् गजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं सदानन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं सर्वसुखसारं
सुख करता दुख हरता वर्ता विघ्नची पूर्वे पूर्वे प्रेम कृपा जयची सर्वांगी सुंदरुति शेंदुरची कंठी जल के माल मुक्ता फलांची जय देव जय मंगलमूर्ति दर्शन मात्रे मान कामना पूर्ति जय देव जय मंगलमूर्ति दर्शन मात्रे मान कामना पूर्ति Kachita fara tuze gauri kumara Chandana chihuti kum keshera Ire jadita mukuta shobha thobara Runjuntino pure charani gagarya जय मंगलमूर्ति दर्शन मात्रे मान कामना पूर्ति जय देव जय मंगलमूर्ति दर्शन मात्रे मान कामना पूर्ति Lambodar pitambar fanivar vandana Sarir sonda vakra tunda trinayana Das ramacha vadpae sadana Nirvani rakshave survar vandana Jai Deva Jai Mangalamurti Darshan Matre
Tvameva Sakshat Shri Keshavaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Narayanaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Madhavaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Govindaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnave Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Madhusudanaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Trivikramaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vamanaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shridaraya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Sakshat Shri Hrishikeshaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sankarshanaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vasudevaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pradyumnaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Anirudaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Purushottamaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Agokshajaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Narasimhaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Achyutaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Janardanaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Padmanabhaya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Damodaraya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha.
is there. So be careful about it. Some material advantage would be there. Doesn't matter, you can walk, you can take a bus, doesn't matter. So because of this material comfort, you might fall for it. So be careful on that point, that all these bhoots are material and they attack on your material attachments. And see to it that you get rid of those material attachments. In one word is that see your material attachments and the things that so-called comfort you. You should only seek the comfort of yourself, and only the praise of your mother is going to comfort yourself. Take it from me, which is told by Adi Shankaracharya a long time back. And I wish you would understand that there's nothing else that is going to comfort yourself. Forget all about this. Even if you have to walk, go on singing the praise. Finished. You will not feel anything. That's how it is going to work out. Today is the day for me to declare certain things. As Krishna had said, just surrender yourself. Sarvadharmanam parityajya mamekam sharanam vrajam. Give up all other attachments and religions. Religions means the temperaments that svabhava, the ones you have developed, and surrender unto. This is what you have to understand. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. Haphazard ways, half ways, it's not going to work out. This, if you learn, you have solved the problem. We should not do it during the puja. After the puja, we'll have the photograph so that you concentrate on the puja. All right? Now today, because it is Krishna's Jayanti, I thought that we should have a Gita for you, and I've told him to read Gita so that when all these things are done, your attention should be on Gita, what he reads. And he has to read it loudly. And now, pani wani rakhna hai? Where is the water? No, not that, for washing the feet. Now put the 3 leaves. Chaya, idhar aa. Kamla.
Washing the feet. Washing the feet. Got,
You see, you put these 3 leaves,
let's
right?
slightly warm. Yes, mother.
Big leaves. Under that. Under that. No, under the kumba. No, not under the coconut. Yes. The other way round rakhna chahiye coconut.
Too big.
But take 2 big are all right. These ones are all right.
Is it the light coloured one or?
3 ones. Yes, these dark ones are all right. 3. Yes, now put it. Drop here. Yeah. Now, before he reads Gita, I will tell you the basics of these two chapters which one should understand. First is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya. Sankhya means Sahaj Yoga, we can say. But Sahaj Yoga is a combination of Karma Yoga and Sankhya. It's both. The first part of Sankhya Yoga first part of Sahaj Yoga is that you get your realization. That means your awareness is to be enlightened, you should have the knowledge to begin with. That is Sankhya. That you meditate and you achieve your realization in the first part is Sankhya Yoga. That is the first thing Krishna has said that you achieve. Then the Karma Yoga is actually should start after that. That is Karma Yoga. And whatever he said about Karma Yoga is actually after Sankhya Yoga has to be done. Sankhya Yoga is the first thing he preached. And then he said about Karma Yoga. That you cannot do Karma Yoga before Sankhya Yoga. But this is the trick of Sri Krishna. So those who try to do Karma Yoga before Sankhya Yoga are mistaken people. Moreover, he has tried to show that there are no two things, they are one. But they become two, because if you put the Karma Yoga first and then the Sankhya Yoga, it would be like, say, a telephone which is not connected. You go on telephoning. That telephoning is Karma Yoga. And then you do the connection. So this is wasted and that is wasted. So what you do is to first of all connect. And then you do the Karma Yoga. So both things become one. Alright? Once you understand that without connection you cannot see your ego, you cannot see your superego. You dwell with your ego all the time and you are not aware of it at all. I mean, with Sahaja Yoga also you do, but with Sahaja Yoga at least you get aware of your ego. You get aware of your superego. So first you do Sankhya Yoga and then Karma Yoga is the thing that he is trying to say. And whatever he has said in Karma Yoga is after realization, after Sankhya Yoga. So first he talked of Sankhya Yoga. Now he says that those who talk of them separate are not wise. That's how he neutralizes. But he has created this mystery 6,000 years back. Because he wanted people to go around the world, you see, because they wouldn't understand. Let them telephoning. Go on telephoning. If you tell them don't do it, they'll be angry. Their ego will come up. So he said, all right, go on telephoning. Then when you'll be tired, you don't get any connection. Then you will come back and you'll say, it has not worked out. Then the mother will be here and she'll tell the truth. That's why these 6,000 years you have been telephoning. And that telephoning is Bhakti Yoga. But that comes the third stage. First you get your realization, secondly you work it out, perfect it, and then indulge into Bhakti, into joy. Now these are in three stages. First you get your knowledge, means your intelligence on your brain, and that part, the Virata, is clearly done. Means you achieve the Sat part of it, the truth. Then second you do the attention, Chitta, action. That's Karma Yoga. And third you do Bhakti, is the joy. Enjoy, you sing and praise, that's all. It's combined like that. So he has put three things, actually they are one, stage by stage. But for befooling people, he said you can do anything before. I don't know if he has said it, but he might have said it. He's very clever. So what to do? People don't want to take by stages, you see. They want to do first of all. I've seen many people who would like to do Sahaja Yoga more than achieve it. Alright, so now the
In these 2 chapters you will find out. Now when he says yogi, it means sahaja yogi. Alright? Now can somebody who is going to wash my feet today? Somebody from here. Now you need not clear just now in my presence. Now please don't pay attention to yourself. Put your hands towards me and surrender yourself. Alright? Now who is from this place? Come along. Now
Well, we
who
can
else?
come forward then.
Come forward. Come along,
to
come
the
along.
front.
Rachel and all these people. Come along. Where is your
Raj,
husband?
Jay, they're all sitting at the back and hiding.
Come. You should sit forward. Come along, come along, come along. All of you should be in forward.
Patrick? If you'll move back a bit.
Come forward. You come forward. All of you. You all come forward. Especially those who have not yet washed their feet and all that should be forward.
Brian, have you washed before? Brian, come.
Come along.
Come ask some of the others to
Come
move
along.
back and Brian can come in here. You can move your camera a bit. It's only going to be used after the program.
I would suggest that let somebody else, let Warren read it.
Okay.
All right, and you do the washing and all. Come along. You stand. Come along, Warren. Come. It is to be, it's in English language, so it's all right. Do it loudly. You may stand there or somewhere.
It's chapter 4 and 5. Okay?
Chapter 4 and 5.
You can stand there in that, on the top of that. I don't want to, there, on the green one. Hers blue. Now listen to him. That's very important. Now, those people who are here should be. Chaya? Where is she? Pani Mani to? It's here. All right. No. Where will you throw it?
We're going to wash it onto the tree.
All right, come along. Let them go. Now you read it. 4th chapter
And
and 5th.
Sri Bhagwan said, I taught this immortal yoga to Vivaswan, the sun god. Vivaswan conveyed it to
Sun
Manu.
God. Now who is Sun God? You know Christ. Huh.
Vivaswan conveyed it to Manu, his son, and Manu imparted it to his son, Iswaku.
I pour mother while they wash.
All of you.
Thus handed down from father to son, Arjuna,
Come on.
this
Who
yoga
has it?
remained known to the Raja Rishis.
You wash first.
By great efflux of time, however, it has more or less disappeared. The same ancient yoga has this day been imparted to you by me, because you are my devotee and friend, and also because this is a supreme secret.
Now see, he told it to only Arjuna, to nobody else. This is not a mass thing. It's only individualistic. Huh?
Arjuna said, you are of recent origin, while the birth of Vivaswan
This is quite a common thought. You are a recent origin. Me too. They think so.
while the birth of Vivaswan dates back to remote antiquity. How then am I to understand that you taught at the beginning of creation? Sri Bhagwan said,
हाँ जमीन पे रखो.
Arjuna, you and I have passed through many births.
जमीन पे.
I know them all, while you do not, O chastiser of foes. Though unborn and immortal, also the Lord of all beings, I manifest myself through my own Yogamaya, or divine potency, keeping my nature...
Where I is, you should know this is me. All right? Then you will understand.
keeping my nature, Prakriti, under control. Arjuna, whenever there is decline of righteousness and unrighteousness is in the ascendant, then I body myself forth. For the protection of the virtuous, for the destruction of the evildoers, and for the establishment of Dharma, on a firm footing I am born again from age to age. Arjuna, my birth and activities are divine. He who knows this in reality does not take birth again on leaving his body, but attains me. Completely rid of passion, fear, and anger, wholly absorbed in me, depending on me, and purified by the penance of wisdom, many have become one with me.
Penance of wisdom. You see these words are. This is Krishna's style. It's very, very tricky words. Penance of wisdom.
Purified by the penance of wisdom, many have become one with me, even in the past. Arjuna, howsoever men approach me, even so do I seek them, for all men follow my path from all sides. In this mortal world, men seeking the fruition of their activities worship the gods, for success born of action follows quickly. The four orders of society, namely the Brahman, Kshatriya, the Vaisya, and the Sudra, were created by me, classifying them according to their prenatal qualities and
That's their aptitude. Aptitude.
and apportioning corresponding duties to them.
Brahmanas are the ones who are seekers of God.
Though the author of this creation know me, the immortal Lord, to be a non-doer. Since I have no craving for the fruits of actions, actions do not contaminate me. Even he who thus knows me in reality is not bound by actions. Having known thus, action was performed even by the ancient seekers of salvation. Therefore do you also perform such actions as were performed by the ancients in the former times. Even the wise are at a loss to know what is action and what is inaction. Therefore I shall expound to you the truth about action, knowing which you will be freed from its evil effect.
Now this is after realization you try to understand. So,
The truth about action must be known, and the truth of prohibited action must also be known. Even so, the truth about inaction must be known, for the mysterious are the ways of action. He who sees inaction in action, and action in inaction, is wise among men. He is a yogi who has accomplished all action. He whose undertakings are all free from desire and thoughts of the world, and whose actions are burnt up by the fire of wisdom, him even the wise call a sage. He who, having totally given up attachment to actions and their
this
fruits,
is for you people.
has got over the dependence on the world and is ever satisfied, does nothing at all, though he may be ever engaged in action. He who has subdued his mind and his body has given up all objects of enjoyment and has no craving, performing sheer bodily action, such a person does not incur sin. He who is contented with whatever is got unsought is free from jealous and has transcended all pairs of opposites, such as joy and grief, and is balanced in success and failure. Such a karma yogi, though acting, is not bound. He whose attachment has gone, whose mind is established in knowledge, and who works for the sake of sacrifice, all actions of that liberated man melt away.
The liberated man. Now you see the fools who don't understand this, without liberation they start doing all this action. You cannot do it.
The sacrifice in which the ladle, in which the oblation is poured, is Brahma. The oblation itself is Brahma. Even so the act of pouring the same into the fire, which is again Brahma, by the sacrificer who is himself Brahma, surely is the goal to be reached by him. Who is absorbed in such sacrifice as Brahma is also Brahma.
Brahma is all pervading power, you can say.
Is the absolute.
Divine love is Brahma.
Other yogis offer sacrifice in the shape of worship to the gods. Others pour into the fire of Brahma. Sacrifice in the shape of the self, through the sacrifice known as the perception of identity. Others offer as sacrifice.
Now you understand?
Others offer as sacrifice their senses of hearing into the fires of self-control. Other yogis again offer sound and other objects of perception into the fires of the senses. Others sacrifice all the functions of their senses and functions of the vital airs into the fire of yoga and the shape of self-control which is kindled by wisdom. Some perform sacrifice with material things. Some offer sacrifice in the shape of penances. Others sacrifice through the practice of yoga, while striving souls, observing austere vows, perform the sacrifice of wisdom through the study of the sacred texts.
All these things you can do.
Other yogis offer the prana, breath, into the apana. Even so, others the apana into the prana. There are still others given to the practice of pranayama, or breath control, who having regulated their diet and controlled the course both of the prana and the aprana airs, pour their life breaths into life breaths. All these have their sins destroyed by sacrifice and know the truth about sacrifice. Arjuna, yogis who partake of the nectar in the form of the remains of sacrifice attain the eternal Brahma. To the man who does not offer sacrifice, even this world is not happy. How then can the other world be happy? Many such forms of sacrifice have been set forth in detail through the mouth of the Vedas. Know them all as begotten of the actions of the body, the mind, and the senses. Thus, knowing the truth about them, you shall be freed from the bondage of karma through their practice. Arjuna, sacrifice in the form of knowledge is superior to sacrifice performed with material things. For all actions, without exception, culminate in knowledge, O son of Kunti. Attain this knowledge by all means. If you prostrate yourself at the feet of the wise, render them all forms of service, and question them with a guileless heart again and again, those wise seers of truth will unfold that knowledge to you. Arjuna, acquiring that knowledge, you will no more be subjected to delusion like this, and through it you will see all beings first in your own self and then in me.
Those who only haven't done everyone.
Even if you are the most sinful of all sinners, you will cross over all the sin by the raft of knowledge. For as the blazing fire reduces the fuel to ashes, Arjuna, even so the fire of knowledge reduces all actions to ashes. In this world there is no purifier like knowledge. He who has attained purity of heart through the practice of karma yoga automatically realizes it in the self in course of time. He who has fully controlled his senses is exclusively devoted to spiritual practice and is full of faith, attains knowledge. Having gained knowledge, he immediately attains supreme peace in the form of God realization. He who lacks discrimination is devoid of faith and is possessed by doubt, is lost to the spiritual path.
Here is saying possessed by what means supraconscious.
For the doubting soul in particular, there is neither this world nor the world beyond, nor even happiness. Arjuna, he who has dedicated all his actions to God according to the spirit of karma yoga, whose doubts have been dispelled by wisdom, and who is self-possessed, actions do not bind him.
Self-possessed, possessed by self.
Therefore, Arjuna, cutting asunder with the sword of knowledge this doubt in your heart, born of ignorance, establish yourself in karma yoga, in the form of ever-mindedness, and stand up for the fight. Chapter 5. Arjuna said, Krishna, you extol Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of knowledge, and then the yoga of action. Pray tell me which of the two is decidedly better. Sri Bhagwan said, the yoga of knowledge and the yoga of action both lead to supreme bliss. Of the two, however, the yoga of action, being easier to practice, is superior to the yoga of knowledge. The karma yogi, who neither hates nor desires, should be ever considered a sannyasi. For Arjuna, he who has transcended the pairs of opposites is easily freed from bondage. It is the ignorant, not the wise, who say that Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga are productive of divergent results. For one who is firmly established in either gets the fruit of both, namely God realization.
It means supposing you are realized a little bit, not much, in the sense that you haven't achieved suddenly the highest, which happens. Most of the people that you are. It happens that your achievement with your Kundalini is not of the ultimate. So when you do Karma Yoga, which is easier, through which you achieve. Sankhya Yoga can be that you achieve your realization, you meditate in the jungles, go stay there, keep away from all the worldly things, meditate, meditate, meditate and try to rise. But such people are absolutely useless, I have seen. My own experience is that such people are useless for all worldly things. They cannot be compassionate, they cannot come down from their levels. When they come down, they again get contaminated. So the second thing is very easy, that you get your realization and start on the Karma Yoga, cleansing yourself. Once you have done your cleansing, you achieve it because it is immune to everything.
By the supreme state, which is reached by the Sankhya Yogi, is attained also by the Karma Yogi. Therefore he who sees Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga as one, so far as their result goes, really sees. Without Karma Yoga, however, Sankhya Yoga, or renunciation of doership in relation to all activities of the mind, senses and body, is difficult to attain. Whereas the Karma Yogi, who keeps his mind fixed on God, reaches
You don't
Brahma.
become a sannyasi now, it's for Bala. You don't become a sannyasi, you work here. It's easier, definite, sure shot.
He reaches the Brahma in no time, Arjuna. The Karma Yogi, who has fully conquered his mind and subdued his senses, whose heart is pure and who has identified his self with the self of all beings, remains unaffected even though he's performing action. The Sankhya Yogi, however, who knows the reality of things, even though seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, going, sleeping, breathing, speaking, passing urine and stools, taking and opening or closing the eyes, must believe that he does nothing, holding that it is the senses that are acting on the sense objects. He who acts, offering all actions to God, and shaking off attachment, remains untouched by sin as the lotus leaf by water. The Karma Yogis perform action only with their senses, mind, intellect and body as well, withdrawing the feeling of mum in respect to them and shaking off attachment simply for the sake of self-purification.
Good.
Offering the fruit of actions to God, the Karma Yogi attains peace in the shape
This
of
is only
God
possible
realization.
after realization. How can you offer action? Fruit of action, you cannot.
Only then he attains peace in the shape of God realization, whereas he who works with a selfish motive, being attached to the fruit of actions through desire, gets tied down. The self-controlled Sankhya Yogi, doing nothing himself and getting nothing done by others, rests happily in God, mentally relegating all actions to the city of 9 gates, the body with 9 holes. The Lord determines not the doership nor the doing of beings, nor even their contact with the fruits of actions. It's nature that functions, deriving its motive power from God. The omnipresent Lord does not partake of the virtue or sin of anyone. Knowledge is enveloped in ignorance. Hence, it is that beings are constantly falling into a prey to delusion.
See, prey to a delusion. And delusion, if identified with yourself, then God save you. Again it comes to me, but what to do? God save you means also I have to do it.
In the case, however, of those who said ignorance has been destroyed by the knowledge of God, that wisdom shining like the sun reveals the Supreme. Those whose mind and intellect are wholly merged in Him, who are constantly established in identity with Him, and are exclusively devoted to Him, their sins being wiped out by wisdom, go to whence there is no return. The wise look with the same eye on a Brahmin endowed with learning and culture, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a pariah. Even here is the mortal plane conquered by those whose mind is established in equanimity, since the Absolute is free from blemish and equanimous, hence they are established in the eternal. He who with reason firm and free from doubt rejoices not on obtaining what is agreeable, and does not feel perturbed on meeting with the unpleasant, that knower of Brahma lives eternally in identity with it. He whose mind remains unattached to external enjoyment derives through meditation the unmixed joy which is inherent in the soul. Then that yogi, having completely identified himself through meditation with Brahma, enjoys eternal bliss. The pleasures which are born of sense contacts are verily sources of pain, though appearing as enjoyable to worldly-minded people. They have a beginning and an end. They come and they go. Arjuna, it is for this reason that a wise man does not indulge in them. He who is able to stand here on earth before casting off his body, the urges of lust and anger, he is the yogi, a harmonized soul. He is the happy man. He who is happy within himself enjoys within himself the delight of the soul, and even so is illumined by the inner light, or the light of the soul. Such a yogi, or a Sankhya yogi, identified with Brahma, attains the Brahma, who is all peace. The seers whose sins have been washed away, whose doubts have been dispelled by knowledge, whose mind is firmly established in God, and who are actively engaged in promoting the welfare of all beings, attain Brahma, who is all peace.
इसमें डाल दो.
To those wise men who are free from lust and anger, who have subdued their mind and have realized God, Brahma, the abode of the eternal peace, is present all around. Shutting off the thoughts of external sense enjoyments, with the eyes fixed on the space between the eyebrows, having equalized the prana and apana breaths, outward and inwardly, flowing within the nostrils, he who has brought his senses, mind and reason under control, such a contemplative soul, intent on liberation and free from desire, fear and anger, is ever liberated. Having known me in reality as the enjoyer of sacrifices and the
Now this part of
austerities,
Hatha Yoga, we have not yet started in Sahaja Yoga, but I will start it gradually. Because the tendency in the West especially is to go to extremes, so I don't want to do it, you see.
having known me in reality as the enjoyer of sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of all the worlds, and the disinterested friend of all beings, my devotee attains peace.
I hope you followed it now, you see. So Sankhya and these things you should clearly understand, and is a very good way of understanding what is expected of you to have the bliss. And what is to be done is, first of all, to get your realization and then become Karma Yogi. Work it out on Karma Yoga means you do not become a sannyasi, you don't run away from this world, settle down somewhere else. Because it will be very difficult. You go out of this world, stay somewhere, and when you come back again you become a bhoot. So what's the use? Instead of that, work it out here and perfect. So this is Karma Yoga.
Yes, Srimataji. Let's meditate in silence. Let us together establish our Holy Mother's most powerful name of Nirmala. Together we'll take the short Sahasrara mantra 7 times, the name of Nirmala. Om Tvamev Sakshat Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. 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 We can continue to meditate.
अमलं तिमिरहरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं धर्मविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं धर्मविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् सुदेशं पूजितकेशं नतमदवेशं कामकरं त्वयाकृतमनुजं फलकरानुजं प्रतिपदानुजं पारकारं सुखदसुचारं हितमनुकारं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् वरभासं प्रकटसुरासं कुसुमविकासं मधुशिखरं मतमनुमतमानं रूपमनिदानं कृतकवमानं शीतमलं मल्लकमृदुहासं कुञ्जनिवासं गिरिकविलासं देविकरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् प्रवीणं वालितदीनं भक्तादीनं परमकरं मोहनपतिधीरं मणिबलवीरं हतपरवीरं तरलतरं वल्लभव्रजरमणं वारिजवदनं मलहरशमनं शैलकरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तत्त्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम्
Jai Shri Mataji, we thank our beautiful global family for joining us, bringing your vibrations for this collective meditation evening. From the heart, lots of love, vibrations, and growing ever closer to our Holy Mother. Jai Shri Mataji.
ललितत्रिभङ्गं बहुकृतरङ्गं रसिकवरं गोकुलपरिवारं मदनाकारं पूज्यविहारं पूर्णतरं वल्लभप्रचन्द्रं सुखगसुचन्दं कृतानन्दं कान्तिकरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरम् वन्दितयुगचरणं पावनकरणं जगदुपकरणं विमलकरं हरियशिरगमनं कृतफणिनमनं वर्तितयमनं मृदुलचरं वल्लभनुपकरणं निर्मलचरणम् अशरणशरणं मोदिकरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं भजनन्दकुमारं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं ब्रह्मपरं सर्वसुखसारं तात्वविचारं